Subscribe Top G exclusive for daily motivation. What if everything you've been taught about gratitude is wrong? Well, the very thing that makes you feel good, the idea of being thankful for what you have is actually the reason you are not where you want to be in life. People then talk about gratitude as if it is the ultimate virtue. They say, I'm grateful for what I have, and society praises wise. It sounds humble, but in reality, it can be one of the biggest excuses for inaction. Think about it. How many people use gratitude as a way to justify not pushing harder? How many people convince themselves that wanting more is selfish, that ambition is greed, that striving for something greater means they are ungrateful for what they already have? They settle. They say reach their full potential, but because they are afraid of the discomfort that comes with growth, I have enough. They say deep down, they know they could be more, achieve more. Instead of facing the truth, they hide behind the comforting illusion of thankfulness. Gratitude should not be an excuse to stop striving. It should be the fuel that drives you forward. If you are truly grateful for something, you don't just sit back and admire it. You do everything in your power to maximize it. If you are grateful for your health, you don't take it for granted. You train, you push your body to become stronger. If you are grateful, you learn, you challenge yourself. If you are grateful for your time, you don't waste it on meaningless distractions. You use every moment to build something worthwhile. The problem is too many people confuse gratitude with complacency. They think that just because they appreciate what they have, they don't need to push for more. But life does not reward those who stand still. It rewards those who are constantly moving forward and upward. Every successful to reach improving, reaching for the next level. Every champion, every billionaire, every innovator got there because they refused to settle. They refused to accept enough as the final destination. They were grateful, but they used that gratitude as motivation to create something even greater. You see, the world is moving forward whether you like it or not. And if you choose to stay in the same place, you are not just standing still, you are falling behind. There is always someone out there who is working harder, who is willing to do what you are not. While you sit there convincing yourself that you know. Someone else is putting in the hours, grinding, sacrificing, doing whatever it takes to reach the next level. And one day you will wake up and realize that your so-called gratitude was nothing more than an excuse between winners and losers is simple. Winners use gratitude as a weapon, while losers use it as a shield. Winners take what they have and gratitude every real grand opportunity. Losers, on the other hand, use gratitude as an excuse to avoid the discomfort of growth. They convince themselves that wanting more is wrong, that ambition is a sin, that striving for greatness means they're not appreciative of what they already have. But that is a lie. About the people who inspire you. The ones who redefined broke barriers, who left, who brought will be remembered for was possible, who left the labor by sitting back. And so you think they got a generation? I have enough. I don't need to do more. No, they were grateful, but they expressed that gratitude by taking action. They took what they had and turned it into something legendary. They honored their opportunities by maximizing them. And that is the mindset you need to adopt if you ever want to be significant. The truth is, you owe it to yourself to become the best version of yourself. You owe it to the people who came before you, who worked hard to give you the opportunities you have. You owe it to those who would trade places with you in an instant if given the chance. And most of all, you owe it to the life you have been given. Because when you're grateful is in your potentest form of ingratitude, gratitude should never mean settling. It should never mean accepting mediocrity. If you are truly grateful, prove it. Prove it by pushing yourself harder than ever before. Prove it by refusing to make excuses. Prove it by demanding more from you. Stop every single day. The moment you stop chasing greatness is the moment you start dying. So the next time you tell yourself that you are grateful, ask yourself, are you really, or are you just comfortable? Are you truly thankful, or are you just afraid? Because comfort is the enemy of progress. And you are not living. Real gratitude is action. It is discipline. It is waking up every day and I do better. It is refusing self in yourself. How can they less than settle for life extra life? If you really appreciate what you have, then show it by becoming the absolute best version of yourself. Because in the end, the only true way to honor your blessings is to make the most of them. What if everything you've been taught about gratitude is actually keeping you trapped? If that makes you feel like a good person, the idea of actually being thankful for what you have is actually your full stuck and why you're living a life far below what you're capable of. People love to talk about gratitude as if it's the ultimate virtue. Society praises those who say, I'm happy with what I have, as if it's a sign of wisdom or enlightenment. But in many cases, this so-called gratitude is nothing more than an excuse to justify inaction. How many people out there convince themselves that wanting more is a bad thing? How many people fool themselves into believing that ambition is greed, is somehow ungreatness, is striving for grateful, that strives that they should be content, that they should be satisfied with the bare minimum? and that pushing for more is unnecessary. But here's the truth. This kind of thinking is a trap. It's not gratitude. It's fear. It's laziness. It's a mindset designed to keep people comfortable, weak, and stuck in mediocrity. Wait two isn't about sitting back and admiring what you have. It's about taking what you have and multiplying it. If you're truly grateful for your health, you work to make your body stronger. If you're truly grateful for your opportunities, you don't just sit back and say, I'm lucky. You seize those opportunities and turn them into something greater. If you're truly grateful for your time, you don't waste it. You use it to build something that matters. Gratitude should be few, not an excuse to stand still. Look at the most successful people in the world, the billionaires, the champions that they got there by settling. Do you think they got telling there by themselves, I have enough, I don't need to do more? No. They were grateful, but they expressed that gratitude through action. They honored their opportunities by making the most of them. They took their blessings and used them as a foundation to build something legendary. And then look at the people who look at the ones who never progress, the ones who stay in the same place year after year, making no real impact on the world. What do they say? I'm happy with what I have. I don't need more. I'm comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the reason why people never grow. Comfort is the reason why potential goes to waste. The world is constantly moving forward. And if you're not moving with it someone else out there is hungry, else is working harder. Someone else is taking the opportunities that you're too lazy to chase. While you sit back and convince yourself that you have enough. Someone else is putting in the hours, grinding, sacrificing, and doing whatever it takes to reach the next level. And that's the person who will win. That's the person who will live an extraordinary life. The difference for winners and losers is simple. Winners take what they have, build on it. Losers take what they have, blessing, and settle. Winners use that gratitude as motivations to create more. Losers use gratitude as an excuse to stay exactly where they are. They tell themselves that they are content, but what they really mean is that they are too afraid to step into the unknown, too scared to take on new challenges, too weak to handle the discomfort that comes to people you admire, the ones who have achieved greatness, the ones who won had of left be of birdies that will be broken variations. Did they settle for stop? Will they remembered for generation? Did they stop it? No. They were never satisfied. They knew that gratitude is not about complacency. It's about maximizing your potential. It's about honoring your life by making the most of it. You owe it to yourself to become the best version of yourself. You owe it to the people who came before you, ones who worked hard to give you the opportunities you have. You owe it to those who would give anything have the chances you're wasting. And most of all, you owe it to the life you've been given. Because wasting your potential is the greatest form of ingratitude. Gratitude should never mean settling. It should never mean accepting mediocrity. If you are truly grateful, then prove it. Prove it by pushing yourself harder than ever before. Prove it by refusing to make excuses, by demanding more from yourself every single day. Because the moment you stop striving, the moment you stop casing great, you start dying. So the next time you tell that you are grateful, ask yourself, you really? Or are you just comfortable? Are you truly thankful? Or are you tranquil? Or are you just afraid? Because comfort is a killer. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the reason why so many people live their entire lives without ever reaching their full potential. And if you are not progressing, real gratitude is action. Real gratitude is effort. Gratitude is discipline. Is waking up every day, I do better. How can I do better? It is refusing to settle for how life feeling less than extraordinary. It is looking at what you have and saying, this is just the beginning. If you really appreciate what you have, then show it by becoming the absolute best version of yourself. Because in the end, the only true way to honor your blessings is to make the most of them. Imagine waking up day telling yourself, I'm grateful for what I have. It sounds noble, doesn't it? Society teaches us that gratitude is a virtue, that being thankful to happiness. But what if that very grateful is the key to happiness that's holding you back? What if your so-called thankfulness is nothing more than an excuse for not doing more, not being more? Too many people use gratitude as a shield, something to hide behind when they're too afraid to chase greater things. They say, I'm happy with what I have, but deep down, if they could push harder, they could achieve more, they could be better. Yet, instead of facing the discomfort of growth, they choose to sit in themselves called conto wisdom. The truth is, there is a fine line between gratitude and complacency. And if you're not careful, you might be fooling yourself into believing that you're being humble, when in reality, you're simply avoiding the responsibility of improving yourself. Life rewards those who are hungry, those past their limits. It does not reward those who sit still and tell themselves that they have enough. Having enough should not mean that you stop striving for it. It should not mean you stop growing or evolving. Being thankful is good, but it should never be an excuse to remain stagnant. If you're truly grateful for your health, then why aren't you doing everything you can to keep your body strong? If you appreciate the opportunities you've been given, then why aren't you pushing yourself to match them? If you value the talents and skills you possess, then why aren't you refining them and taking them to the next level? Real gratitude is not just an of action. It is about proving that appreciation through what I have. If you truly appreciate something, you should be working every single day to honor it. There are people who say they're grateful for their family, but they spend no time with them. There are people who say they're thankful for their financial security, yet they make no effort to grow their wealth or secure a better future. There are people who say they're grateful for life, yet they waste their days doing nothing meaningful. That is not gratitude. That is laziness wearing a mask of being a fuel, not a brake. It should drive you forward, not hold you back. When you truly appreciate what you have, you don't take it for granted. You elevate it. If you are grateful for knowledge, you seek more of it. If you are grateful for opportunities, you work to create even greater ones. If you are true time, you use it wisely. Every moment, every blessing, every resource should be leveraged to its fullest potential. That is what you have and making the most of it. But too many people have convinced themselves that wanting more is selfish. That ambition somehow makes them ungrateful. This is one of the biggest lies that weak-minded people tell themselves. There is nothing wrong with wanting more and more. There is nothing wrong with striving for greatness. In fact, it is your responsibility. If you are blessed with a capable mind and you owe it to yourself and to the world to push you to your highest potential, you owe it to the people who came before you, who worked hard to give you the opportunities you now have. You owe it to those who would trade places with you in an instant if given the chance. The truth is, life is a competition. Whether people to want to admit it or not, you are either moving forward or you are being left behind. The world's not stop for those who decide to be content. It does not wait for those who convince themselves they don't need to improve. While you sit there telling yourself a gratter, trainees out there working longer and thinking bigger, one day you wake up and realize that your so-called gratitude was nothing more than an excuse for inaction, that while you were patting yourself on the back for being content, others were surpassing you, outworking you, outgrowing you. You need to stop lying to yourself. You need to stop using gratitude as an excuse for laziness. Being thankful should never mean accepting me being comfortable. A show of gratitude is action. It is effort. It is discipline. It is waking up every day and asking yourself, how can I do better? Because the moment you stop striving, the moment you stop pushing is the moment you start falling behind. So the next time you tell yourself you're grateful, ask yourself, are you really, or are you just using the work? Are you truly thankful or are you just comfortable? Because comfort is the enemy pressing you of progress. And if you're not progressing, your notfulness is proven through effort. If you really appreciate what you have, then show it by becoming the absolute best version of yourself. What if everything you've been told about gratitude is a lie? What if the very thing that makes you feel good, this so-called thankfulness you hold on to, is actually the reason not you want to be in life? People love to say, I'm grateful for what I have. It sounds wise, noble. It's just an excuse. It's a justification for staying with the tiny, most occasion for staying in the same place, avoiding discomfort and refusing to chase after something greater. The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards those who push, those who strive, those who refuse to accept mediocrity. The people at the top, the champions, the game changers, the ones who redefine what's possible, who let gratitude become a reason to stop. They are thankful, yes, but they express that thankfulness something even greater. The truth is, many lay taking what they have and build disguising this as gratitude. They say they have enough, but what they really mean is, I don't want to do the hard work required to level up. They convince themselves that ambition is greed, that wanting more means they're ungrateful. But that's not how success works. That's not how progress happens. If the greatest minds in history had settled for enough, the world would still be in the dark ages. If champions had settled for good enough, sports records would never be broken. If entrepreneurs had settled for just making ends meet, we wouldn't have innovation, we wouldn't have billion-dollar companies, we wouldn't have industries that change lives. So the question is, are you truly grateful or are you just comfortable? Are you using gratitude to push yourself forward or are you using it as an excuse to stand still? Because the people who truly appreciate life, the people genuinely respect they've been given, don't waste them. They don't sit around reminiscing about what they already have. They take action, they build, they grow. Gratitude should be the fire that fuels your ambition, not the water that extinguishes it. If you're grateful for your health, prove it by training your body to be stronger. Prove it by learning knowledge. Prove it by learning more and applying what you know. If you're grateful for your most out of your opportunities, show them creating, making, even breaking great opportunities for yourself and others. Because the moment you stop pushing, the moment you stop striving for something greater, you are not truly living, you merely existing. Think about the people who have achieved runs of greatness, who inspire you. Do you think they got there by sitting back and saying, yeah, I don't need to do more? No, they worked, they sacrificed, they took risks, they refused to be comfortable. They knew that gratitude is not about settling, it's about honoring your life by making the most of it. Too many people out there wake up every day convincing themselves that they're content, when in reality, they're just afraid to step in the unknown, afraid to take on responsibility. And so they wrap themselves in the warm, comfortable blanket of thumb, then use it as a reason to stay exactly where they are. But life doesn't wait for anyone. Well, they sit there talking funny of. Someone else is out there telling themselves they harder, learning, working more, doing more. And eventually, those people, the ones who push, who grind, who never settle, are the never settle, the ones who win. The choice is simple. Either you grow or you fade away. Either you wake up and decide that today is the day you stop making excuses, or you let another day slip by wasted. Because in the end, while you want to admit it or not, you are either moving forward or you are being left behind. There is no middle ground. So ask no standing self. When you say you're grateful, what does that really mean? Are you using gratitude to push yourself forward, to become the best version of yourself? Or are you using it as an excuse to avoid the discomfort of growth? Because true gratitude is proven through action. It is proven through effort. It is proven through discipline. And if you're not actively working to become better, if you're not striving every single day to improve, then your gratitude is just another tour excuse. Stop pretending behind yourself. Stop hiding that thankfulness is enough. Because it's not. It never has been, and it never will be. The only thing that matters is what you do with the life you've been given. And you truly appreciate it if you truly understand the value of the opportunities in front of you, then prove it by by refusing to settle for anything less than. If you think gratitude alone is enough, you've already lost. If you believe that simply appreciating what you have is the key to success, you've fallen into success. People who let their trap comes their potential. People who allowed the illusion of contentment to rob them of their own greatness. Gratitude without action is wasted potential. Thankfulness without effort is an excuse. The world does not care how much you appreciate what you have. It only cares what you do with it. The truth of life is a battleground. Every single day, you wake up with two choices: to push forward or to stay the same. And if you stay the same, you're already falling behind, because while you are sitting there convincing yourself that I have enough, someone else is out there proving that they don't. They are working, they're grinding, they are pushing past their limits while you remain stagnant. And eventually they will surpass you in every way you choose. Will you be the person who wakes up and says, this is good enough? Or will you be the person, I can do more. I can be more. I will be more. Because that's the difference between those who make history and those who are forgotten. That's the difference between winners and losers, between leaders and followers, between champions and those who never even step into the arena. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop convincing that there's still time. Time is slipping away with every second you waste. The clock does not stop. Your life does not pause. And no one is going to hand you save you. No one is going to give you a shortcut. The only way forward is through relentless effort, through discipline, through an unbreakable will to dominate every single day. You think the greats became great by being satisfied. You think warriors, athletes, business titans, world leaders, anyone who has ever changed the game, reached the top by saying, I have enough, I don't need to do more. No, they were grateful, yes, but they were never satisfied. Because the moment you stop growing, you start dying. The world does not care about your excuses. It does not care about your comfort. It does not care that you are afraid. Success is not handed to the weak, the hesitant, the ones who stand still. It is earned by those who are willing to suffer, to fight, to sacrifice everything other than their present. You say you want success, then proof. You change your life. You say you're it. Then you want to show up every single day with discipline is possible. Push harder, accept limits. Shatter them. Do not settle for good enough. Demand greatness from yourself. Do not allow the fear of discomfort to control your life, because every second wasted is a second you will never get back. The difference between those who win and those who lose is simple. One group refuses to settle, the cease with mediocrity. Which one will you be? Because right now, you are this very moment at crossroads. One path is easy. It's the path of comfort, of telling you're saying the same, of saying yourself that you've done enough. And then there's the other path, the hard path, the one that will demand every ounce of your strength, the one that will require sacrifice, the one that will test your willpower, break you down, make you want to quit 1,000 times over. But it is the only path that leads to something extraordinary. So tell me, who do you want to be? Do you want to be just another name, just another face in the crowds, but never used it? Or do you want the person who will potentially be remembered? Or do you want who defied the odds? who refused to accept limitations, who rose above every obstacle and built something legendary. Because in the end, no one will remember you for what you wanted to do. No one will care about the dreams you thought about chasing. The only thing that will matter is what you did, left behind, the battles you fought, the way you showed up every single day, or even when it was hard at this, they'll come to that was hooray. It all comes, you either take action or you fall behind. You either make history or you become just another forgotten name. And if you think you have time to waste, if you think you can afford to wait until you feel ready, you are lying to yourself. Time waits for no one. Success waits for no one. Greatness waits for no one. So stop talking. Stop making excuse. Stop telling yourself that you're grateful while using that gratitude as an excuse to stand still. You want to prove you're true to them and go out and earn it by becoming stronger, by every possible way. Earn it by refusing to settle. Earn it by waking up every single day and doing what needs to be done. No matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much your mind begs you to stop. Because when it's all said and done, when yours up, when your time is up, the only thing that'll live up to your potential, whether you use the life you were given or whether you let it slip away because comfort was easier. So now, are you going to be on a rise, or are you going to fall? Or will you be just another person who could have done something great but never did? The answer is yours. But remember this, the world belongs to those who refuse to settle. The world belongs to those who take what they have and turn it into something greater. The world belongs to suffer, to struggle, to bleed, to fight, and to never stop pushing forward. So don't just be thankful. Be hungry. Be relentless. Be unstoppable.